The growing demand for energy and advancements in technology offer an exciting opportunity to improve our nation's grid. One part of the solution is using the power of offshore wind. This involves building facilities that capture wind energy over the ocean, convert it into electricity, and deliver it via cables to the electric grid for distribution to homes and businesses. Onshore wind farms are often less efficient than those offshore, thanks to the higher speed and greater consistency of ocean winds. But accessing and using offshore wind is a multi-step, challenging process. Location is critical to the success of a wind farm, maximizing its output and minimizing its impact on the environment and the people around it. The same goes for the transmission cables that are needed to connect that wind farm to the power grid. The process of selecting a location for a wind farm includes two main efforts: siting and permitting. Siting refers to picking a suitable location or route for transmission to connect the offshore wind farm to the onshore grid. Permitting is the process of obtaining the required reviews and approvals to install the wind farm and needed transmission in the chosen location. Sensitivity to the environment and impact to local communities are important when siting wind farms and determining the exact route the transmission cables will take. There are many competing demands for our natural resources, which must be considered in siting new facilities, and offshore wind is no exception. Marine animal habitats and bird and bat migration routes must be protected. Shoreline views of the wind farm must be evaluated and minimized wherever possible. Potential impacts to archaeological and tribal areas need to be assessed with the affected tribal nation or tribal community. Additionally, the impact to other marine users, such as fisheries and recreational users, needs to be minimized. Once a site is selected, permitting efforts begin at the state and federal levels. Information collection is very important during the permitting stage. Marine survey boats collect data to map things like sensitive seabed habitats so cables can avoid them. The data set is used to complete required permitting steps, such as environmental impact assessments. Consultation with tribal nations and local communities is a required step to discuss potential negative and positive impacts and negotiate how the project can serve everyone involved. If the permit is granted, there are a number of safety monitoring and oversight measures that will continue into the construction and operation phases of the wind farm. For example, horizontal directional drilling can be used to place the cables far beneath sensitive shorelines and therefore prevent impact to those habitats and fisheries. Marine biologists monitor the waters from aboard offshore vessels. Some operations are halted if protected species are observed within a certain distance from the site. Federal agencies have primary responsibility for siting and permitting wind farms and cables in federal waters, while state agencies have responsibility in state waters. State waters generally start at the coastline and end about 3 miles offshore. Federal waters are beyond that 3-mile mark. Both federal and state agencies review the entire project, from the offshore wind farm through to the marine and onshore transmission cable, as part of granting the necessary permits. How long the permitting process takes depends on each particular project. Federal and state reviews, permitting, and safety oversight are involved in a multi-phase process, including early site assessment field surveys and continuing through construction and operations. The process to permit a project varies, but is typically 5 to 7 years, which allows time for everyone's voice to be heard. The process of siting and permitting transmission cables and facilities for offshore wind is a complex but important one. To learn more about what's involved, please visit energy.gov/GDO.